Hello! Welcome to the Johto region. This is the Route to Victory Road, a podcast that chronicles our journeys through the main series titles of the Pokemon franchise. I'm your host, Pokemon Professor Mackenzie, and I'm joined today, as always, by my wonderful partner and co-host, Jaylee.
Hello!
Hello!
Happy Friday!
Happy Friday. Welcome back, Pokemaniacs.
Feels good to be getting more Pokemon out there.
Yeah, this one... extremely short, but how was your week?
Can't really answer that because we haven't really had a week, but you know, I'm having some good time with the game, and this week's going to be a little bit different. We're recording.
It will be different. Yes. We had a week. What do you mean?
What do you mean? Since you last put out, no, because you just released it yesterday.
Yeah, but we recorded that last week.
The week's been a blur.
Our life week was long, and the leg of Pokemon was short.
That's so true.
So yeah. That's probably why it feels like it hasn't been a week, is because
that's true.
You barely played Pokemon this week.
I barely played Pokemon, yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. It feels like we barely touched Pokemon. And like I put in a shocking amount of time into this leg.
Really?
Yeah, but it's because of what I did. And I'll explain that later, but
okay.
If I hadn't done what I did, if I had just gone and faced the gym like I could have done, it wouldn't have been as long as it was. But we're not going to talk about that yet. First, we're going to talk about Game Corner.
Game Corner. We changed the name of the segment. Now it's more Pokemon themed and we love it more.
Yes, I agree. I love the idea. You called it Game Corner by accident, but I love it. It's amazing. So, welcome to Game Corner.
Cue some music that we haven't recorded yet.
I do have an update on Vampire Survivors.
Oh, you're going to talk about Vampire Survivors again?
I said that I would have an update.
Oh, okay.
So at the time of recording last time, for the last podcast, I was at 12.2 hours played.
Yeah.
And now I'm at 21 hours played after a week.
Wow,
yeah.
In a week.
In a week, I got 9 hours added on.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, mostly it's just walking around. You know what I think I like about it? If people have played Risk of Rain, it's kind of like Risk of Rain, in a way. Another thing that it's like, and this is something that I thought of just today, is it's like you're taking a Castlevania character and you're transitioning them into a bullet hell raid boss.
Oh boy.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, you've been having a lot of fun with that game.
Yeah, I have one of my favorite characters. He starts with this tome that circles him, and eventually what I do is I build him in a way where he just has like a circle of damage around him, and I call it the circle of death. And I like it. It lets me get to the kill screen almost every time, which is funny.
That's pretty funny. Do you have another game to talk about this week, or just Vampire? Have you been playing anything else?
Lego with you. Yeah,
we've been playing our Star Wars Lego.
Yeah, and we finally started episode 3.
Yep. And
so that's been interesting. They got quite a sense of humor in that Lego game.
It's really fun. Have you played Snap at all this week? Because that was the one you were obsessed with. Yeah,
I play a little bit of Snap. I've been slowing down on Snap a lot because at the level that I'm at, they're just piling on a lot of people who have cards that I don't have access to.
Oh, okay.
And so it's not a lot of fun when these other players are playing with cards that I can't get.
Okay, that's fair.
So I have a chance at getting them, but the chance of me getting them is so ridiculously small that there's no way I could put any sort of faith into drawing those cards from the packs that I'm getting.
Yeah, I would take a break from that.
Yeah, exactly. It's just getting frustrating because they're like I'll be playing my heart out, and then they'll be like, oh, here's a pool 5 card. And I'll be like, okay, cool, I'm in pool 3, so great that you have that, and wow, you really outplayed me with this card that I don't have access to.
No fun.
No.
back to vampires.
Yeah,
so that's good.
Vampire Survivors, I'm playing by myself, and there's not really a way that the game outplays me, so I like that.
It's good.
I've gotten to a point where it's like, if I die, it's usually on purpose. Or because I've ended the level, and they have a kill screen that comes and ends you. It's like a manifestation of death itself, and it comes and kills your character.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's my Game Corner update. Did you want to talk about any games you've been playing?
What have I been playing? Did I talk about Freddy's last week?
No, you didn't.
No, we didn't. So I tried Five Nights at Freddy's for the first time on stream, and that was really fun. It's terrifying. The animatronics are really scary to me because I've never liked any kind of mascots or anything in a mask, so that was scary. The game is pretty fun. It's pretty amusing, but I do not appreciate the jump scares. There's a lot in there, but it's fun. Yeah. I haven't made it to the 5th night yet.
No, you're on the 4th night.
I'm on the 4th night, so got to keep going. Can't give up yet.
No, you did a good job.
It's pretty fun. That was all luck, but it was pretty fun.
It wasn't all luck, but there were a few lucky times where you let the clock run out, which was good. This week in Pokemon is so extremely short that we decided we were going to do some extra content this week. And it's kind of like a little preview of what we have planned for our Patreon. So what we did is we watched the Pokemon Arceus Chronicles movie, or, well, it's kind of a movie. It's like a short movie, though.
Yes, it's a movie.
It's only like, I think it's only like 75 minutes or something.
It felt long.
So we watched that, and we are going to do a little review of it in this episode, in like the second half of the episode, because this leg of Pokemon is just ridiculously short. But
it's so short.
This is the kind of content that we were planning on doing for Patreon, though.
Yes.
So it's kind of like here's a little preview of what we're going to be doing, and so we thought that would be good to throw in here. But first, the game. The game. The week in the game.
Where did you start?
So we start in Cianwood. We pull out our guys. I only pulled out 2. I pulled out Jack the Gyarados, and I pulled out Starman the Ladybug. Weird, right?
Okay.
Lady-N, sorry. It's a Lady-N, not a Ladybug. So I pulled out my Lady-N and my Gyarados, and I put Dr. Teeth and I put Lace away.
Okay.
But you remember that this week I was allowed to have 3 Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
So I trained up Lady-N quite a bit. I went to say bunch and bit at the same time.
Nice, I like it.
Quite a bit. I trained up Lady-N quite a bit. And then I went and caught a Gyarados.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I went with your naming theme.
Oh.
And I named him Big Red.
Big Red. Oh. Yeah. I'm going to steal that name for something. I haven't used that yet. That's pretty good. I like that. But don't you already have a Gyarados?
I do. So I have 2 now.
2. Friendly.
And I caught a Venonat, which I named Vespa.
Nice.
And I caught a Raticate, which I named Ratscallion.
Gross.
I caught those while I was training.
Good name.
Yeah. They were just like north of Olivine, and I ran into them in the grass, and I was like, oh, I don't have you. I guess I'll catch you guys.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, nice. I can evolve Venonat and use Venomoth. But Venomoth, unfortunately, is bug poison, not bug flying.
Oh, boo.
Yeah. So
close.
Can't use Venomoth. I thought it would be nice because Venomoth has really decent special, and I could use that to use its like psychic attacks and things like that.
Sure. But nope, you can't.
Not a flying. So
no flying.
That's too bad. And then I went and fought Jasmine, and that's my week.
That's it.
That's my week. It was just training, catching, and Jasmine.
Mine was a little bit more eventful, I think.
Okay.
So after I left the island, I was surfing along, trying to level up some Pokemon. The first thing I did was I caught a mantine.
Oh, you did?
I did before you even asked me to catch you one.
Okay.
So I was keeping that a secret. But I tried as hard as I could to find a second one, and I couldn't, so you can have this one because I'm not using him.
Oh.
You can have him. I will.
Are you sure?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I thought he was flying. That's why I was so excited.
Flying.
He's not.
Yeah, he's water flying.
He can't use fly.
He can't use fly, but he's water flying, though.
Yeah, no, I don't want him.
Oh, okay.
I only was excited that I got him because I could teach him fly. Because the only things that I had in my box that could learn fly was a Pidgey and a Spearow. But Spearow was only level 2 and Pidgey was only level 9. So I didn't want to take them out and train them. So my plan was, because I had my Togepi, to make it really happy and evolve him so he would be my flying.
Right.
But I could not make him happy. I trained him up to a level, 14 or 15. Mm-hmm. And no, he hates me. He hates me. I took him for one haircut. I kept fainting him.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he doesn't like me. So I boxed him and I took out my level 9 Pidgey named Pez. And I decided to go with him. So training time. Cue the Rocky montage and all the good stuff. I spent a good time trying to level up and train. Didn't get very far. My Pokemon are still really low and I don't know how I made it. But the Mantine that you can have, his name is Fuzzy Peach.
Fuzzy Peach.
Yeah, you can have him.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Why Fuzzy Peach, out of curiosity?
Because they're delicious, and I was tired probably when I was naming it.
Okay.
Yep. He's cool.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
That's literally it.
I guess.
The gym is next. That's all I have.
Yeah, I guess Pokemon Center check-in. We don't really need to take a break, so we'll just roll right into it.
Are we talking about the levels in the Pokemon or the gym first?
Well...
Because I have a gripe.
Sure.
With you.
With me?
Yes, because I did the gym this morning.
Yeah.
And I asked you what kind of Pokemon I would need. And you were like, oh, for the first 2 trainers, you'll need these kind.
Well, I didn't say trainers. I said the first 2 Pokemon.
The first 2. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cheating.
You asked me if water would be any good in the gym.
I did, yeah.
And I said for the first 2 Pokemon,
which I assumed you meant the first 2 trainers, because I went to the gym and I was very confused, Mackenzie. I was very confused why I could walk right up to Jasmine and didn't have to fight anybody else. Because I didn't level my Pokemon up to the level I wanted to get them to, because I was like, oh yeah, there'll be a bunch of trainers in the gym that I can train with. But no. So I was expecting at least 4 or 5 of them, because I took what you said to mean the first 2 trainers. So I was like, okay, I'm ready. Oh. Jasmine had 3 Pokemon, so the first 2 Pokemon. And she was the only one in the gym. So I was like, oh no.
Such a sad little gym, eh?
Such a sad little gym. Like, what is she trying to prove? Nothing.
But she is a lot stronger than the entirety of the last gym that we fought.
I don't know about that.
Oh, she had me on the ropes anyway.
What?
Yeah.
Do tell.
Well, I will go first on my team then.
Oh, wait, I need to go first because you went first last time.
No, it's okay. My squad was Starman, the level 30 Ledian.
30.
Big Red, level 30 Gyarados. And Jack, the level 30 Gyarados.
Very nice. Okay, 2 Gyaradoses.
Yes. So Starman was able to knock out the first Magnemite with a single dynamic punch.
Nice.
Punch. And it's dead. And then the second one came out, and I was able to light screen and reflect. And then Ledian went down to a Thunder Shock or something. Yeah. Some Thunder move anyway, which is too bad. But then Big Red comes out, and I used Bite, and it flinched Magnemite, and then I used Surf, which wasn't very effective, and then Magnemite used Thunder Shock and knocked out Big Red.
Nice.
So I brought out Jack. Jack did Bite, and it knocked out his Magnemite, and then I was able to get Steelix, which is Jasmine's 3rd Pokemon,
right,
down low, and Jasmine used a Super Potion to bring Steelix back to full, and then I was able to surf, and knock Steelix out with Jack. I was low. I was worried that Steelix might put Gyarados down somehow. Luckily, it didn't. I think it used Iron Tail and lowered my defense or something like that. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
This is so scary, you guys. But yeah, so like I said, like it was mostly just because she had 2 Magnemite. That was what was tough for me. But I was able to pull through in the end and get a victory over her. But none of my Pokemon even leveled up.
No. Yeah, mine either.
But yeah. I don't know. Steel type is just a tough type.
Yeah.
It's rough.
I don't know. I had a similar experience, but I didn't find her as hard as I thought it was going to be because my Pokemon were super low. So I had Skittles, my
Quilava?
Yep. 24. Hershey, my Furret, 25. Whoppers, my Whooper. Nope, the blue thing. Quagsire, 25. Fuzzy Peach, my Mantine.
Oh, you brought it in.
I brought it in. Level 20. And Pez, my Pidgey, level 15.
Nice.
Like, they were so low. So I ate through the Magnemites like nothing.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I lied. Hold on. I had Milk Duds. Where I didn't write it down. My Miltank level like 28.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was fine with the Magnemites, but her Steelix, I was scared because of the level 35.
Level 35.
Level 35, and all my Pokemon were at least like 10 levels lower, except for Milk Duds, and he fainted Milk Duds right away. So I was scared. I knew he was going to like run through all of them and faint them all. But my Furret and my Quagsire, those two, both of them together just like surf, and then I won. Like, easy peasy. The only one that fainted was my Miltank, and that was it. And I was like, whoa, I win? Did I just have like my Ash Pikachu versus Charizard moment? Is this what it feels like to be a Pokemon master? Like, it was like David and Goliath. I was not expecting to win. So it was too easy. It was weirdly easy because of Steelix's level. It was fun. I was very confused walking in. I was like, where is everybody? Jasmine, what did you do with them? How come you have no trainers? Right. No friends? And so. Yeah. My time at the end, 30:37. How many hours compared to last week?
That's almost 5 hours.
Oh, wow. I don't even think
Actually, it's over 5.
I don't think I added 2 hours. It was so fast.
Yeah, it was very fast. But all of that time was me leveling up Ledian. Because Ledian last week was level 22. So I raised it 8 levels.
Holy.
And it's a support Pokemon, so most of that was switch training, unfortunately.
Oof, the worst.
Yeah. But
we did it.
Yeah, did it. And my Pokedex numbers are 57, 116. So 57 Pokemon caught. That's the 2 new ones were Venonat and Raticate. And 116 seen. The only new Pokemon seen was Steelix.
Wow.
Yeah, because I had already seen Magnemite in a bush.
Yeah, I already seen a Magnemite too.
Yeah. So, but I didn't catch it, unfortunately. I tried to, but I accidentally knocked it out.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, that was pretty funny. I didn't even say my reserves. My reserves are Melon 20, Dandy 20, Chadley 16, Lace 31, Early Bird 30, Dr. T 31.
They're all still up there, yeah. Wow, you got them all up there. Good job.
Yeah, because I was going to use them last week, but
right.
But then I ended up using just Lace and Dr. Teeth.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah, so
I guess we can do...
Yeah, Pokemon Academy.
Pokemon Academy.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break and we'll do Pokemon Academy when we come back. We'll see you guys on the other side. Welcome back, Jaylee, from our break.
Thanks.
Welcome back, Pokemaniacs.
Welcome.
As well. We are going to do a little bit of
Pokemon Academy.
Pokemon Academy.
Test me.
I don't have a silhouette for this one,
What?
so I'm
Come
just going to
on.
pull up. It's obvious who it has to be this week. So here is the picture for you.
Ew.
Who's that Pokemon?
Steelix. He is such a derpy Onix. It's not funny. When we were watching Arceus, I noticed how derpy this Pokemon is. Like, I can't stand his face. It bugs me. It's very punchable. Like,
Very punchable.
It is. It's a punchable, obnoxious, annoying Pokemon face. It's so derpy. That's all I have to say about it. What do you have to say about Steelix?
Steelix is the Iron Snake Pokemon.
With a derpy face.
And it has some of the highest defense in the game right now for this generation. It and Shuckle are pretty dang high.
It doesn't make up for its face.
Steelix floats above the ground in all of its 3D models, unlike its pre-evolution, Onix, who mostly rests along the ground and lifts up only its head.
Wait. Okay, this is a question for Arceus as well. When did Onix get an evolution?
This generation.
What? Like the second? Like Pokemon Gold? Second generation?
Yeah.
Oh
That's where Steelix... You just fought one.
I know, I just fought one, but like, it's because I'd never known Onix to have a evolution. Can you? That really tells how much Pokemon I haven't watched.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So yes, Steelix is Onix's evolution, and how you obtain it is you have to trade Onix while it's holding something called the metal coat.
Sorry. Was it like a coat that he wears?
I think it's supposed to be like metal coating. Yeah, but it's just called metal coat.
I pictured this like shiny trench coat. An Onix-sized trench coat.
Yeah.
Somebody draw us that. Nick, draw me an Onix with a trench coat, please.
Metal coat also evolves.
Our official Pokemon.
Resident artist.
Resident artist, Nick.
Metal coat also evolves Scyther into Scizor. Which you've seen in Journeys. I've seen,
but ever since you named your Scyther a sexy name, oh no, even its evolution, sexy Scizor.
I can't evolve it into Scizor, unfortunately, because when Scyther evolves into Scizor, it loses its flying type and gains Steel instead.
Gains sex appeal. I'm sorry. Scyther, I don't know what's with me in Scyther, but okay.
Steelix is probably a portmanteau of Steel and Onix.
Sure. Of course.
While its Japanese name, Haganale, is likely a portmanteau of the word for steel, Hagane, and the English word tail, steel tail.
Haganale?
Haganale, yeah.
Hug a nail.
Haganale, yeah.
Sounds painful.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
For anyone following along in my challenge, Mahogany Town will be the next gym that we visit. The leader uses 3 Pokemon, and your max level is 31.
31? We're going down levels?
Isn't that
very
weird?
Happy about this because none of my Pokemon are at 30.
Yeah.
So for anyone following my challenge, just try your best. And
I'm also happy about it because that means that none of my Pokemon are disqualified for being over leveled.
That's fair. Okay, I was going to ask you.
Yeah, no, all of them are viable.
So people following your challenge have to have a level cap of 1 or 31.
Right.
For everyone following my challenge, you get a participation trophy.
So since we're pretty much done with that part of the journey, I just want to touch base with you and see how are you enjoying the adventure so far now that we're 6 gyms in.
Okay, so unpopular opinion, I don't like this game.
Okay.
I like the Pokemon. They're cute. They're like, it's just like the first game, except I'm finding this game is a little bit lackluster. I find maybe they didn't put as much thought into this one because they were like, oh, the first one was so successful, let's just bang out another couple. Because I'm finding all of the trainers have the same Pokemon and the same levels, and it's so boring to fight 6 Onixes at a time, or 6 Magnemites, or just like 6 something at a time, or 6 Growliths. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why don't you have some variety? So I'm just a little bit, I don't know. It's okay. I'm like a 6 out of 10 right now because I like the adventures, but I feel like I'm still not getting anything done from the first weeks because I went to all of these different places and I haven't gone back.
Right.
And so it's very scattered and just I want more variety in the trainers. Maybe I'm being really picky here, but
no, you
there's
got a
something
point.
about this game where it's just like, it's a sequel, and sequels are never as good as the original, but I feel like anything after these games are better. So I just feel like this one was maybe overlooked. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just...
So I'll share something with you that you might not know about this, but Pokemon Gold and Silver weren't supposed to start... weren't even supposed to just be the continuation of a series. They were supposed to be the end of the series. It was supposed to be Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. Well, red, green, blue, and yellow. And then it was supposed to be Pokemon Gold and Silver, like full stop.
Yeah, right.
That was going to be it. And then they did Crystal. And they were like, oh, that was kind of fun. That was a lot of good. Crystal's like the quote-unquote director's cut for that. So like how yellow is for red and blue.
Sure.
Crystal was the director's cut for Gold and Silver. So it kind of has like a combination of both of their Pokemon.
Okay.
And you also, for the first time ever, can choose to be a girl, whose name is Chris.
Okay.
Yeah, that was revolutionary. Because
yeah, for sure.
It wasn't something that you could do in Pokemon. It wasn't something you could do in most
like video
RPGs
games.
up to then. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like,
That's cool.
The very first time you hear Oak, well, here in quotations, hear Oak say, "Are you a boy or a girl?" It was like, what? That's amazing. Oh my God, I'm a girl. And then it was like, here's your little blue-haired girl instead of the guy with the gold and black hat. And it was like, cool. Instead of Ethan, I'm Chris. Anyway, so yeah, this was supposed to be the end of Pokemon.
I just feel like not enough thought was put into it. Like, they were just so ready to get it over with and just rush it out.
Right.
I don't know. There's just some little things missing for me.
We'll see in the future what you feel.
Yeah, because at this point, I don't feel like I'm going to get it all done. There's a bunch of little side quests and stuff on here that I started, but I'm never going to finish. Do you remember, like, the rune puzzle?
Yep.
No, I don't remember it because I went in there and was like, oh, I can't do this yet. So I walked out. I'm never going to go back.
You can. You have Fly.
Yeah, but do I have the time or the desire?
Do you have the time?
Not really.
How quick do you think this game is going to end?
Do you know how long it takes me to finish a week? Like a gym in a week? It takes me a long time.
Yeah.
Leveling up is the worst.
You will have time. We are not even halfway done the game yet.
I'm just over it. I want to progress. Like, I want to be level 100 and I want to be Pokemon Master.
Well, maybe the runes are a way you progress. You
yeah,
have no
I doubt
idea.
it. What about Burn Tower, Tin Tower? Like,
Yep.
I have to go back to those?
You will.
What about the farm?
Yep.
Okay.
One day.
Ugh, I just wish all of this was in order. I don't do good with chaos. Everything needs to be orderly.
Well,
anyway, that's my thoughts. What are your thoughts on the game? That you've played it. What is this? You're probably like 37th time playing it?
No, if I were to guess how many times that I've played these games all the way through, this would probably be my like 11th time playing them.
That's still a lot.
Yeah, but
yeah, that's awesome.
It's because after they came out, I played them twice through, like straight through to the end. And then I never played Ruby, Sapphire, which are Generation 3.
Never ever played?
Well, I have played them. But I didn't play them when they came out, is what I meant. But when they did come out, they reminded me, oh, hey, I love Pokemon. And so I played them again.
Okay.
And then I played them again in anticipation of Heart Gold, Soul Silver, which were the remakes of these games.
Yeah, see, they were so bad they had to do a remake.
Well, they did a remake of all the generations, up to 4.
I'm not saying nothing.
And then I played them again when they came out on Virtual Console. So maybe not even 11. Maybe like this is like my 9th time playing them through, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not been that many times, but I do really like these games. I like Heart Gold and Soul Silver a lot more, but that's because there's more mechanics and less bugs.
That's fair.
That's it for our journey through Pokemon this leg, but stick around because we are going to take a quick break and then we're going to talk about the movie that we watched, and hopefully people will like that as well. But for everyone who doesn't want to stick around, we are going to say goodnight to you and have a good week.
And continue to follow our journey on Route to Victory Road podcast on Instagram. Let us know where you're at in your journeys in the games, and we love that you follow along and appreciate all of your guys' support.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Oh, actually.
A quote, please.
Yeah, I guess I'll do that part so
Thank you.
that the people who don't want to stick around don't have to stick around.
But we would love it if you stuck around.
But we would love it if you stuck around. The closing remarks for this week come from Brock again. I know I did one just last week, but this time
This was on purpose.
This was on purpose
Okay.
because of the
because
movie
we'll
that we
tell you
watched.
about it later.
Yes, exactly. Stick around. The quote is, "You can't expect a win every single battle, but love's worth fighting for. And if you're brave and courageous and never quit, you can come out a winner, just like me."
Poor Brock. He's so lame.
All right.
Movie
We'll see you after the
review.
I mean, movie review. Hello, Pokemaniacs. Welcome back. Jaylee and I are going to talk about the movie that we watched, Pokemon The Arceus Chronicles. So the movie opened up in a really interesting way with the ink art. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It was like all like old art style and stuff like that. I was like, oh man, that's really cool. But then it fades into the animation of like the regular show. And I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. I like that. And it's like a little bit better animation than the regular show. Enough that it's noticeable, but it's not like over the top.
It's
or
like a
anything
movie.
that.
Like,
yeah,
it looks,
it's like a movie.
It looks like a movie. It looks really good.
Ash and Go show up in Sinnoh, and they're having a festival, which I don't think plays into any part of the rest of the film.
Yeah, they never really talked about the festival.
No.
They were just, hey, you're here. Go borrow some clothes. Dawn shows up.
Yeah.
And it's like, here, I borrowed some cool clothes. Here, you go borrow some clothes. And I've always been a little bit confused because this isn't the first time that they've borrowed clothes.
No.
Where are they borrowing clothes from?
The clothes borrow
And
store.
why? Just because they're in a different region?
I think it's just because the festival.
What was the festival?
They were doing some festival to.
Okay, as long as you don't know, because I didn't know either.
It was like a historical. It's kind of like a Ren Fair, is what I'm getting from it, right?
Yeah.
Japan's really big on their festivals, so I think that's what they're trying to get across. But it was honestly, it's just there to tie into the game, Arceus Legends.
Oh yeah, it
Legends
was very
Arceus.
much the game.
Yeah. Except, like, their outfits were all wrong. It didn't look like the outfits from the game.
It didn't look like the outfits from the game at all.
No,
it was funny.
So I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, Dawn's sort of did, but theirs didn't.
But
not at all.
yeah.
And then Cynthia got them to do the... Oh, sorry. Let's not... I forgot. Intercut into this is Team Galactic doing their stuff. And they're hunting down Heatran, which is a legendary Pokemon. And they sent out Bronzors, which are those little shield medallion-looking things. And they're using Flash or whatever. But the captions, while the Bronzongs are all making their noises, the captions say Golbat screeches. And I was like, those are definitely Bronzors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I said Bronzong, but they're Bronzors.
There were Golbats in there, too.
Right, they sent the Golbats out after to do Supersonic. But the Bronzors are what's out first, doing funny. The flashing lights.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, Golbat screeches. And I was like, but that's not a Golbat. Anyway, I just thought that was funny, so I wrote it down.
Maybe the Golbats were screeching, like, behind them. So it's fine.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. But the Golbats hadn't been sent out yet. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Saturn capturing Heatran implies that Galactic can do anything right, and so therefore it's unbelievable to me.
I had a gripe with this Team Galactic.
Yeah.
I have no idea who they are. Where's Team Rocket? They're the OG and the only villains I want to see. And why did they try to bring in, like, the Sailor Moon Scouts? Why did they bring in the Sailor Scouts? I didn't like this team. They're not good villains. Sorry.
Well,
I'm Jesse and James forever.
Yeah.
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 That's right.
So in the Generation 4 games, we will be facing these guys again.
I'm so sad.
And maybe you will change your mind about them later. Nah. I doubt it, though. They're kind of lame.
I like to hold grudges.
So then we're back to Cynthia, who shows up and is like, hey, I'm going to explain a whole bunch to you guys about the game Legends Arceus, but, like, pretend that it's an info dump about our history or something.
Yeah, this movie to me, if I had to sum it up, it is a history lesson from the future.
Yeah.
Like, it was just two ends of the spectrum, history and then futuristic, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is definitely a history lesson, but with a little bit of spice. And then Cynthia is a badass. That's definitely, like, my next cosplay. She's so cool.
Oh. They have this catching game that implies that the modern people are aware of the connection that Rowlet, Cyndaquil, and Oshawott had to the Hisui, which is what Sinnoh was called in ancient times, which doesn't make sense because if they're so aware of Rowlet and Oshawott and Cyndaquil's connection to Sinnoh, Cynthia says that it's written in the historical record that these three Pokemon have, like, strange energies that appear and change their evolution path or whatever. But if that's true, then why are there no attempts in modern times to evolve Pokemon, those three Pokemon in Sinnoh, get their Sinnoh evolutions? I don't know. It's just kind of silly that they're like, oh yeah, no, totally. We've always known about these three Pokemon evolving specially here in Sinnoh. And it's like, oh, but have you though?
Have you? Why are we just hearing about this?
Yeah, exactly. And why doesn't it work anymore for anybody who plays Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl? Why can't they get a Hisuian Samurott or a Hisuian Typhlosion there?
Yeah, secretly it's a brand new idea they just found.
Exactly.
They just figured out for Arceus and didn't want anybody to know.
I just like that they're trying to imply in the movie that they're like, oh yeah, no, we've always known that. Ash creeping around in the grass to try and catch Rowlet made me think of, there's a mechanic in the Generation 4 games, no, Generation 6 games, sorry, Pokemon X and Y and Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, where you can sneak.
Oh, cute.
And I miss it because it was like a really great way to, like, catch Pokemon that you wanted.
That would be a good idea.
So I was just thinking about it and I was like, oh man, that just makes me sad that they've removed that.
Oh, there was one thing that Cynthia said about Cyndaquil that made me think. By the way, Cyndaquil's the cutest. But Cynthia said that Cyndaquil will use flamethrower if it really likes you.
Right.
My Cyndaquil hates me because it does not know flamethrower.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It doesn't even know flamethrower.
I know. Just had to point that out.
Yeah, I don't think that it learns flamethrower in Generation 2.
I'm sad.
Or if it does, it might be late.
I'm so sad.
But it does learn Flame Wheel, I think. Anyway.
That's not a real thing.
I noticed that Dawn already knew how to use the ancient Pokeball, like, just I don't know, inherently or something like that, but she like flipped the latch and then like was able to like whip it properly and stuff like that. And it's like, but it's like a different type
Yeah, it didn't look too hard. It just looked like old and creaky with a zipper.
with a zipper.
Looked like a zipper.
When the Pokeballs catch the Pokemon, like hit the Pokemon and open and then latch close again, the sound that they made sounded exactly like the silenced pistol from GoldenEye. It was like, pew!
I didn't notice that. That's pretty funny.
And I was like, oh, that's literally, I guess that's a Nintendo property, so whatever.
True.
Cynthia's prize for them doing the catching game and catching Rowlet, Oshawott, and Cyndaquil is homework.
Yeah. Her research.
Her research. And I was like, oh, that's going to come up later.
At least it... And it never did.
Yeah, it never does.
No.
No. In fact, they like forget about those 3 Pokemon, the Oshawott, the Rowlet, and the Cyndaquil.
Yeah, you don't really
They forget
see them.
about Cynthia's homework. They forget about the festival.
Their clothes.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
they change back out of their clothes. I don't know. It was just like, yeah. I was like, wow, wild. They really, like, I thought it was going to be a Chekhov's gun, the whole festival thing. Like, maybe they were going to go back in time or something like that. But nope, it was a red herring, in fact.
That's funny.
It was just an excuse to get them into Sinnoh, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. Weren't they supposed to be there for some sort of research thing?
I have no idea.
I think that's how it started, was they were there to do some research for Cerise.
Oh.
And then
They failed. Like they normally do.
and then Dawn was like, hey, join the festival with me. And they're like, okay. And then they like stumbled into the stuff with Heatran.
Heatran is scary, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not very many Pokemon that I'm like, oh, that's kind of terrifying. But Heatran is... That was a little bit scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a fire steel type.
Yeah, his teeth were like part of his face, and it was weird.
Yeah. It's like a bone mask, it looks like, right?
Scary.
I made a note that Saturn sounds like James from season 1 of Pokemon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Didn't really notice. All I noticed is this New Age team sucks.
Well, just some of the things, like he was like, Heatran, blah, 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 blah. And I was like thinking in my head, I was like, if he had been saying instead, meow.
Meow. I didn't notice.
Like it sounded just like Gen 1 James at points. There were points where his voice didn't sound like him, but it definitely sounded like him with some of the words he was saying.
That's funny. I wonder if it's the same voice actor.
Arceus summons the Lake Guardians after Galactic messes with the heat plate, but not after they catch Heatran. Which I was like, shouldn't Arceus like have been like a little bit ticked off that they were fucking with the legendary?
I have a really dumb question about Arceus.
Sure.
So they mentioned that Arceus was like the OG Pokemon there for all time.
Yeah.
But this is the first time I'm ever hearing about it. Has Arceus been around before this generation? Or is this another one of these, oh, we just came up with this, hopefully nobody notices, haha.
Well, of course.
Of course,
But-
because it's a new
So they...
show, new movie, new game, new concept.
Right. So the original OG Pokemon is Mew.
Mew.
He's called the birth Pokemon.
Which is like cute because Mew is cute. Arceus is like, what the heck? It's supposed to be majestic and cool looking, but it's derpy. Its face is so derpy, and then what? It's got like a horse body, but then it's like got these weird things around it, and it's
you know what those
strange.
weird things are?
What?
1,000 arms.
No.
Yeah, they're
I
all
know
just
what arms
folded
look
up.
like.
They're folded up around him.
Well,
And they like look like a halo. But that's how he formed the world, was with his
Debatable.
1,000 hands.
no, he didn't.
Also, here's another weird thing, is that in Generation 1, I'm pretty sure that they implied that Pokemon came here from space.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Something like that.
Yeah. And that Mew was the original species. He's the origin Pokemon.
But this one is saying that Arceus created the world?
Arceus created, the world, the universe, everything.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. The idea is first he created Palkia and Dialga. So Dialga creates time, and Palkia creates space. And then those two together are able to help Arceus craft the world. And
Sure.
because of all this new crafting, new matter and everything coming into existence, there's also a negative energy that's created, and that's the Pokemon known as Giratina, which you've not encountered before.
No.
And we will in Generation 4, but
Okay.
but for now,
Arceus made the world.
for now, Arceus made the world, and then he made the
Arceus
Lake
said, "Let
Guardians.
there be light," and it's fine.
And the Lake Guardians are Mesprit,
They were
Uxie,
cute.
and Azelf. Yes, you thought they were cute? I was wondering if you were going to...
I do like those little psychic little meat bops. They were adorable.
Yeah.
I liked them. They were fun.
So they're called the Lake Guardians.
I do have a question.
Sure.
I'm noticing a trend of Pokemon's like showing up in threes. So like
Right.
we have Ash, Go, and Dawn and their Pokemon, and then the three that they have to catch. And there's 3 starters, and then these 3, and then Team Wannabe Rocket ends up with like 3, and it's always like, oh, you 3, go and battle these 3. And like, what's with 3s?
Because Pokemon is basically glorified rock, paper, scissors.
Oh my god. It really is. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Okay. That answers so many of my questions. You may continue your story.
There is a point where the trio runs into Bronzong versus a horde of Chingling. What did you think of Chingling, the little bell Pokemon?
They were cute. I noticed they were cute, and then they got hurt, and I didn't really care about them anymore. So I was like,
Oh,
okay.
what about Bronzong, the big bell?
It was weird.
Yeah.
At this point, I started tallying the Pokemon I knew.
Oh.
Throughout this whole movie, I knew 9 Pokemon.
Oh no.
Less than double
Everything
digits.
else was new.
Yeah, everything I was like, what the heck is that? That's not a Pokemon.
Most of them were Gen 4. That's probably why you weren't aware of them.
Yeah, no. And a good handful of them I only knew because we watched the show recently.
Journeys.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, all of Go's Pokemon are Gen 9, but
actually
Gen
all the Pokemon except
8.
for Pikachu and Blissey. I think Pikachu and Blissey were like the only OG Pokemon that I knew before like this year.
Blissey's Gen 2. Yeah, you're thinking
I knew-
Chansey.
Oh, there was a Chansey in it too. Yeah,
Yeah, there was a
okay.
Chansey.
Yeah, you're right. Blissey, I didn't know.
No.
Well, then I knew 8.
Well, you'd seen Steelix in the... Oh no, I guess you didn't. Not
Before today,
No,
because
not
today is
before
when I
today.
beat the gym.
Okay. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
I laughed. I made a note about it. I laughed about Bronzong versus Chingling because even with a horde of Chingling, that is a one-sided fight. Bronzong would have kicked the shit out of
It looked
them.
like it could have, yeah.
Well, Bronzong is a steel psychic type, and Chingling is just psychic, and it's a baby.
Aw, baby.
So Bronzong could easily take all of them out, and I guess it sort of did.
Ooh.
There's a point where Go says, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
And it sounded exactly like the sting from Crazy Frog, Axel F. What's going on? On.
I didn't know that was a thing.
You've never heard that?
I've heard the song. I just
Oh.
never heard of the What's Going On.
It's like right at the beginning of the song.
I hate that song.
Yeah, me too. But well, I like Axel F. I hate Crazy Frog.
Okay.
Axel F is not Crazy Frog's song. Crazy Frog is... Anyway, doesn't matter. But Go says it exactly like that. He goes, "What's going on?"
I'll have to listen to it just for that.
Dawn and Ash are too calm, even for meeting Arceus from before.
I was gonna say if you meant like the creator, whatever
Yeah.
you picture that to be, wouldn't you be a little bit more like, okay,
Like God just talked to us.
yeah, whatever God means to you, yeah, like
Yeah. That's what I'm exactly saying, is that Ash and Dawn are like, oh, okay, we're just hanging out again or whatever.
Pokemon.
It's like, that guy made your existence. What are you doing?
It wasn't your mom and dad. No. You're looking at your...
Well, okay, fair enough. But
daddy.
They were just like, they were both like, huh, okay. And it's like, no, you just were given a vision from a deity. That is something to, like, at least register
care about
emotionally.
it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. I said, it's really cool that Galactic's story is being continued.
Is it?
Yeah, well, because, like, they did leave the story the way that the narrator explains it about Cyrus getting trapped in another dimension. They don't say it, but it...
Is Cyrus like their...
Yes, exactly.
Okay, the mysterious gym leader?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. You can censor that.
I don't have to. You censored yourself. Thank you for that.
What if I say...
What if you say what?
Beep!
You censored yourself again. You know that if we say it out loud, we're going to be contacted.
Why?
It's just what they do. And they know. They know even before I put the podcast out that we've said it and that I have to censor it. Cyrus is stuck in the distortion world, and that's the actual name of the dimension that he's in. I don't know why they didn't name drop it in this movie. They're just like, he's stuck in the other dimension. And it's like, he's stuck in the distortion world. Just call it what it is. Distortion world's basically hell in Pokemon World.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I think it's cool that Galactic's story is being continued, but it's also been like 17 years. So I don't know why Galactic is just trying to get Cyrus back now. Dr. Brock.
Dr. Brock. I was excited to see Brock. It's been 30 years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's a doctor. And I like the OG characters.
It's ridiculous that he's...
Ridiculous, yes. And he seems normal for most of the movie until the very end.
Well, oh, I see. You mean he doesn't seem Brock-like.
Well... He doesn't seem Brock-like until the end.
Until the end. Yeah, that's true.
There's a couple things he does in the end that are just like, okay, there's Brock.
His Happiny that he got in the 4th generation of anime is now a Blissey, which is really cute because it's a callback to the anime.
Cute.
He has a jet.
He does. He does have a jet that he pulls out of nowhere and is like, yeah, I use it sometimes. How convenient.
Yeah. Yeah, convenient. I wrote down, Brock has a jet. Brock, period, has, period, house call, period, jet, period.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Another thing that I found really funny is that on the way to Heatran in Brock's Dr. Jet, Dawn only thinks to patch Cynthia in after Brock has been told the entire story with enough detail to infer information the trio didn't realize.
Yep.
They were so thorough that Brock was like, I have a clearer picture about this than you guys do. And then Dawn was like, oh, I should probably bring Cynthia up to speed too.
Let's call back to the character that's important.
Oh, jeez. So silly. Another thing that I found silly is that Saturn is like, it's now or never, Heatran. Give me all you got. And then at least 3 times asks Heatran to give him more.
I know, poor Heatran.
But it's like, give me all you got has a certain connotation to it that asking for more after makes no sense.
Yeah.
But he asks for more at least 3 times, and Heatran gives more. So to Saturn's credit, I guess Heatran was holding back even after being told to give it all you got.
You ever talk to a child, though? That's how they work.
That's true. Mars asks when everything is going crazy and Heatran is like starting to rampage, Mars asks, why is this happening? And it's like, it's obvious. You guys have been messing with him and trying to activate the the flame plate with him. Like, why do you think it's happening, Mars? What a silly question to ask. Why are bad things happening when we do bad things?
Team Rocket would not have been this dumb.
I don't know about that.
No, I do know.
Heatran begins climbing up the Mount Coronet. I almost called it Mount Sinnoh, because in Legends Arceus it's called Mount Sinnoh. But Heatran begins climbing up Mount Coronet and is clearly above the tree line when Ash says, "Oh, no good, the forest."
Oh, really? I didn't notice.
And it's like, dude, he's out of the forest. Anyway, whatever. Something I wrote down later is, how does the group know that the fire monster's Heatran? Like, I get that it kind of looks like Heatran, but they weren't there for when Heatran started going crazy.
Did they find that out before the psychic things looked inside of it and saw Heatran?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
They're like, Heatran's going up the mountain or whatever.
Really?
And it's like, how do you guys know it's Heatran? He's just
weird.
a big blob of magma.
Weird.
Anyway. And then they get shown that Heatran is inside and he's like conked out. Brock's jet can't keep up with Heatran. That's something that I noticed. Heatran's base speed is 77, which means that it's 20 speed slower than Pidgeot, and Pidgeot goes 100 miles an hour.
Well, Brock's jet must not be very good.
No, Brock's jet is very slow for a jet.
That's funny.
I just thought that was funny. I was like, wait a minute, how are you not catching up to Heatran? Heatran is slow as balls, but not that slow, technically. Like, not as slow as I thought,
Maybe he's
but still
faster
pretty slow.
when he's like a big ball of fire climbing up a mountain.
I guess because he's so big
Maybe
or whatever.
he took his pre-workout.
Galactic keeps getting in the way even though Heatran is out of their control. So instead of helping regain control of Heatran, they're just like, let's see how this plays out. I thought that was silly. I noticed also that the kids continuously call the Lake Guardians by name. So they're like, it's Azalf.
Yeah.
And Mesprit. And Uxie too. And it's like, guys, just call them the Lake Guardians. It's much easier.
Pokemon rule of 3.
Yeah. Brock correctly suggests making a plan, but the crew does not do that.
Wait, Brock is the voice of reason? What's happening?
I don't think that they make a plan until the very, very end. I made a note that they didn't make a plan later on as well. But
yeah, they didn't have a plan. And then when they did make a plan, Arceus was just like, meh, I got this.
Yeah. Don't worry, guys. I've got... Actually, this is my next note. Arceus is railroading the group. Because it like, gave them the answer.
Well, yeah. And then there was, like... I'm jumping ahead, but near the end, they were like, oh, we're all going to go do this. And Arceus was like, it's all been done.
Yeah, I got it.
It's already done.
Arceus is railroading the group. Terrible DM.
Terrible DM.
Ash says to Galactic, I want Pokemon to live free. And then I wrote, what? My guy?
Yeah. Don't you want to catch them all? That's... You are completely saying the opposite of what you've said my whole life. Your whole life. Like... What?
Galactic then explains their entire plan.
Yep.
It's
as
like,
good villains do.
Okay. You also expect Cyrus to be alive after decades in the distortion world. But okay. Fine. It took 36 minutes for Cinderace to finally get some screen time.
Is that what you were timestamping? Okay.
Yeah.
I noticed you paused it when Cinderace came out and I was like, what?
Yeah. 36 minutes. Into like a 75-minute show, and then finally Cinderace comes out. They had Grookey out the whole time, and then they finally put Grookey away to bring Cinderace out. I was like, God, that is way too much Grookey's face time.
Grookey is so annoying. I said this when we first saw him in the anime, and I'm still so annoyed at that thing.
Yeah, I almost made a note about how annoying he was with Piplup.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but
the one thing I did love though. Oh, I can't say it yet. You're not at this point yet. Okay, keep going.
Okay. At one point, Jupiter gives a command to all 3 of the admin's Pokemon. So, yeah, Purugly, Skuntank, and Toxicroak. She's like, all 3 of you, attack blah, 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 or whatever.
She didn't give them, like, what to do. She just said, like, hey, go. And they just, like, started attacking. It was like, oh, that doesn't work.
I was like, how are you commanding all 3 Pokemon? Like,
use this repeatedly.
It's not like she's, like, above the other 2.
Yeah.
They're all admins, so they're at the same level. Anyway, whatever. It was just funny that
we never wrote the show.
No.
But yeah.
Don keeps using Bubble Beam, and that annoyed me because Piplup knew better moves in the anime. But anyway. I wrote down that Brock names all 3 Lake Guardians again, instead of just calling them the Lake Guardians. Blissey knows Mega Punch. That isn't impossible, but it is useless. So I wrote that down as a mistake. After Dawn suggests that they bring out their water types to fight Heatran, Ash and Go don't bring out Dracovish or Inteleon for another 13 minutes.
This is my favorite part of the whole movie, is when he brings out Inteleon and Piplup is like obsessed with him.
Yeah.
And he's just like, it's like the sparkly eyes, but then he tries to act all cool. Inteleon turns around and Piplup's just like, hey, yeah, no, I'm chill. We're cool.
Kind of like Sobble was to the Inteleon
that
Sobble met.
So cute, though. I loved when he turned into cool guy Piplup. He was just like, hand on the hip. He's like, we're cool. I'm cool.
It was cute.
It was cute. That's my favorite part of the movie.
I guess Canalave Officer Jenny has a police copter.
Yeah.
Because she drops Cynthia off.
Yeah, if Brock can have a slow doctor jet, then yeah, she can definitely have a helicopter.
That's true, right? Cynthia and Brock somehow trade Pokemon on the fly.
Yeah, Cynthia was like, hey Brock, watch this Pokemon.
Yeah, take my Garchomp and leave me your Blissey for some reason.
Yeah, very weird.
And your Krogunk. Brock loses his shirt in excitement.
Brock rips off his shirt. This is where I was like, oh yeah, okay, Brock's back.
Yeah.
This whole time I was like, Brock is acting very adult, very normal. What's happening? And then suddenly rips off his shirt and then keeps it off till like the end.
Yeah.
He got it back on at the very end, but what? Why?
It's so weird.
It was so strange.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, maybe because there's heat and they're very hot, but no, it was so weird. It
was very weird. And then all of them are using moves to try and dig a hole underneath the Heatran magma monster to like sink him into a hole so he can't go anywhere. And for some reason, Go uses Pyro Ball.
Yeah, so this Heatran is surrounded by fire.
Yeah.
So they dig a hole to trap him, go into the fire, and then they put Heatran in another little fireball.
Well, I'm not talking about that part yet.
Oh.
I'm talking about like just when they're trying to dig the hole to put Heatran into the hole, and for some reason Go uses Pyro Ball at Heatran. It's like, Heatran's got Flash Fire, which means that he absorbs your fire, my guy. Anyway, whatever. It was so silly.
Weird.
Galactic's plan worked. This is the point where I question, what was the point of the festival at the beginning of the movie? Arceus shows up and blows up Galactic's helicopter. Like, just merciless. Absolutely does not care. I said, Team Galactic kinda has a point about Arceus holding Cyrus hostage. The captions mentioned some epic music started playing when Arceus decided to help the crew. Heatran is made of magma, but the kids are standing close by to it. Brock not wearing a shirt. Arceus says something to the kids and they all hear it. I'm doing quotations for everyone who can't see us. And I wrote, couldn't find a voice actor for Arceus. Was Dan Green busy? Question mark. He voiced Mewtwo and Lugia in the first two. And I think Entei as well in the first 3 Pokemon movies. Anyway, Cynthia doesn't attempt to help the others after Arceus gets involved. At all. She has a Lucario and she has a Milotic, both of which could have helped, but she doesn't get involved. She's like, okay, they got this. They did include music from Journeys when the kids all like make their plan or whatever. I thought that was really cute.
Yeah, that's cool.
Kids dive into what must be at least 100-degree water, Celsius, because it's boiling. So that would not only hurt, but it would burn.
That would hurt, yeah.
What was with Ash thunderbolting the whirlpool? Do you remember Piplup's whirlpool that they were using to like dig a hole into
just kind of like protect it. I don't know.
What?
Or
what does that mean?
So the fire can like come out of it. I don't know. It made no sense.
It didn't. That's not how electricity works. They go inside the heat ran, and this is where what you're talking about, when they cut heat ran loose and then cover him in fire from Pyroball.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, he's already on fire, and then they go in and light him more on fire, I guess. And then he gets covered with electro web, and that's supposed to protect him from the water. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? How is this science?
Maybe the electricity in the whirlpool will cancel out the electro web, and they'll just be like, yeah, you're fine.
I don't know. It was so weird. The magma shell that Heatran was in explodes long before the trio gets back into the water ball.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, they got fried for sure. The kids help lift Heatran. Heatran's 1,000 pounds.
Oh, but you forget Piplup was also helping, so...
Oh, that's true. Yeah, so I guess... yeah, 3 children and their
2-pound
penguin. Penguin can help lift 1,000 pounds of
plus resistance
molten
of water,
metal.
So
Jesus, I was like, what is going on? Why did the Lake Guardians need help lifting? Anyway, from whatever.
Because of the power of friendship. That's what this whole movie is about.
With the inclusion of the flame plate, Arceus has 18 plates, which means that he has a plate for every element, or every type, after getting the flame plate. So I said, was he only missing the flame plate? How does that make sense? Why was he
missing the flame plate?
Yeah. Whatever. Arceus snubs Team Galactic when they beg him to bring Cyrus back.
That was funny.
He's all like, nah, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's like, no, wait. Actually, Arceus, I think Team Galactic has a point. There is a man who's trapped in hell. Why aren't you bringing him back? Anyway. And then Cynthia proselytizes to them about Arceus's will. And my last note is that Brock asks Cynthia out after spending an hour with her.
He finally goes full Brock.
That's a record, I'm pretty sure.
It is, yeah.
And then I said...
But he had his shirt back on.
I also felt like it was warranted for once, since he actually had, like, some bonding time with this woman instead of just meeting her.
Yeah, I ship it, Brock and Cynthia.
And then he's like, oh, please, let's go on a date. And it's like, hey, this is like the most level-headed, most chill Brock has ever been with a woman.
Yeah.
And then Krogunk ruins it for him because Cynthia doesn't say nothing. She doesn't say no. She just...
Oh, wait, didn't she punch him, or was that Krogunk?
No, it was Krogunk.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh, funny.
Yeah, no, she was just like, and gets all flustered, and then Krogunk punches him.
That's funny.
And it's like, wait, what? Anyway.
Krogunk doesn't want nobody stepping in his territory.
Yeah, I guess. Well, no, Krogunk is Brock's Pokemon.
Never mind.
It's just funny. It was silly.
It was cute.
It was cute.
I liked it. It reminded me a lot of the game, so I guess that's what it's supposed to do.
Yep.
And now we know that Arceus created the world instead of anything else.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for this last little bit.
It's been fun. Yeah, thank you.
I hope everyone has a great week, and we'll see you next time on the Route to Victory Road.